please listen to the rules and procedures that will follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar, with adjourned matters being called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When your matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary and proceed to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will then swear you in and read into the record information we have from your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then ask you to make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will ask whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will ask for comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you're acknowledged, come forward, give us your name and address, tell us where your property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing that you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer any additional questions, if that happens, that does not start a second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide, may want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before your go-ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned at an open meeting on the scheduled date of hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application and it's other than a renewal, and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Is there anyone who would need an adjournment? Please rise and join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First application tonight is application 24004 of Vera Slinger, property located in Copeg. Name and address for the record, please.
Vera Slinger, 55 Parkway Avenue, Amityville.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 7, 2024. Environmental Control memo dated February 14, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Peter J. Barbazon.
Mr. Chairman, we have 4 pictures.
Okay. Dated August 25th, 2023, tax map acting as an area map, and 4 pictures. Thank you. There you go. What would you like to tell us about the application?
The application, well, the renovation on the house commenced because of my health on Parkway Avenue in Amityville. It's a 2-story house, and it's a bit much for me to go up and down the steps. I have pulmonary hypertension and also double knee replacement. The house on Bethpage Road belongs to my daughter, Carol Slinger. It used to be a rental property, and I'm the one that's going to be living in it now.
Okay, turn the hearing over to Mr. Dellavecchia.
So what is the need for the cellar entrance?
The steps on the inside, from upstairs to downstairs,
Okay.
they're so steep that there's no way that I'm going to be able to go down those steps.
Can you just lower the microphone a little bit? They're not picking you up. Thank you.
Sorry.
And what's going to be in the basement?
Storage.
Storage on, there's no bathroom,
And there's no bathroom.
so utilities and storage.
That's it.
Laundry area?
No. The
No
laundry area is in the kitchen upstairs.
So just utilities and storage?
Utilities and storage.
And this is no longer going to be a rental property?
No, it's not.
So it's going to be owner occupied?
Owner occupied, and I will be the one living there.
Okay. Her daughter?
So anyone who's not on the deed, if they're living there, you need a rental permit for that.
Such as myself.
You on the deed?
Right, so if you're not on the deed, you would need to get a rental permit.
I'm not going to be paying any rent. Joseph Slinger and Carol Slinger are going to be taking care of it. I am not able to work anymore.
I would contact the rental division because you do have an open permit.
Well, I did go to the rental division, and we have to send an email indicating that it will no longer be a rental. It hasn't been rented since last October. So right now, we're paying 2 mortgages, 55 Parkway and 39 Bethpage. It is a strain on the family.
Are you guys selling 55 Parkway?
Yes,
And
I am.
moving to
39
Bethpage?
Bethpage Road. 55 Parkway is a 7-bedroom house. I have no need for it. All my children are gone.
So is Carol Slinger going to be living at 39 Bethpage as well?
No, Carol Slinger lives in Miami Gardens.
So that's what the need for the rental permit would be, since Carol Slinger is the property owner?
Carol Slinger is the property owner.
Yep, and you're Vera Slinger, correct?
I'm Vera Slinger, and I've been taking care of that property
Yeah.
since day one, all during the rental period also.
Okay, so the property owner would need to apply for a rental permit, even though it's your daughter, it's a relative, because she's the legal owner of the property.
She's the legal owner of the property, but I won't be paying any rent.
But it's still a rental
I'm on
property.
Social
Still a-
Security.
Yeah, but you're still occupying.
You're still a tenant. Technically, you're still a tenant.
Okay.
Either that, or she can add you to the deed of the house, and then you're an owner.
Okay, we can do that.
okay? And then the steps, like I drove by today and you can't even see them.
I know.
So if it were to get approved, you would have to do everything up to code and have handrails, et cetera. You know, you don't want anyone falling in there. All right?
Gotta remain unfinished.
Would you agree that the basement remain unfinished?
Yes.
All right, I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Yeah.
Are there any dividing walls in there, or it's straight open?
It's open.
Okay. And you agree to that one as well as the unfinished?
It's unfinished.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 24-004 with the two conditions that the basement remain unfinished and open layout.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, good luck.
Thank you. So, are you going to advise me when we can continue with the construction?
You'll get a letter in the mail with a ZBA decision, then it'll get forwarded to the building department for review and a building permit issued.
Thank you.
Get it in the mail.
Thank you.
Next application is application 23-232 of Peter and Allison Milan, property located in Lindenhurst. Name and address for the record.
Jennifer Mallon. I'm here for my father. 48 Frank Street.
And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 7, 2024, environmental control memo dated February 14, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by, I can't read it, Pat Charles Ciafico, dated August 15, 2023. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Mr. Chairman, we have 12 photos.
what would you like to tell us?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, there's correspondence to the board's packet. I don't know why.
Okay, so there is a property owner's endorsement from, okay. Being duly sworn, the opposer says he resides, okay, this is a notarized property owner's endorsement. Okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
I'm just here for legally maintaining the shed, the pool, and a deck.
So, what brings you here tonight?
My dad was filing permits for it in order for the house to get a second mortgage.
Okay, so, all right, so that's what you guys are doing. Okay, so there are a number of conditions we would put on this if we were to approve the application. If the shed was ever to be taken down, it'd be placed in a forming location. Should the above-ground pool ever be taken down, it'd be replaced in a conforming location. And no decks, ladders, or pool accessories other than mechanicals are to be located on the north side of the pool. Would you agree to all of those?
Yes.
Is it like, so there's nothing on that side of the pool right
There's
now, right?
nothing at all, no.
Nothing's there at all, okay. So this is all pretty much just existing, and,
Correct.
you know, if you want to redo your mortgage, and they want you to
Yes,
get it updated. and
exactly.
brought up to code, gotcha, okay. Okay. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Okay, good. Good. I'll make a motion to approve application 23-232 with the conditions on the planning memo dated February 7, 2024. All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Next application is application 24005, property located at 11 Daffodil Drive in East Farmingdale.
May I submit these documents?
Sure. Name and address for the record, please.
Solomon Najimi, 11 Daffodil Drive in Farmingdale?
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 7th, 2024, environmental control memo dated February 14th, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Lisa McQuilkin dated September 27th, 2023, tax map acting as an area map, and,
And Mr. Chairman, we have 6 photos.
okay,
Mr. Chairman, for the record, the applicant just submitted a letter of support from the surrounding neighbors.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Good evening. I'm here to ask for permission to install an in-ground pool on our property. Upon submission to the building department, we were informed that we exceed the allowable building coverage. Reducing the size of the pool would not change this, as the allowable coverage is already exceeded with just the house. We have proposed the pool to meet all of the required setbacks, but we cannot do anything to make it comply with the building coverage. We have a large family and children, and we are looking to create a space for everyone to gather in the summer months.
Okay, so there seems to be a conflict on what size is this pool?
It's a 16 by 36, not 18 by 36.
Not 18 by...
So the plot plan would be correct, the correct one.
Okay. So do we have to redo...
They did email them this afternoon. We don't accept email submission, so you can make that condition with
Okay,
those plans are what we move forward with.
okay.
We don't have them on file right now.
So you back up to Farmingdale College? right?
Correct.
So there's no neighbors in the back. And this is just for lot coverage. Also, I need to amend this application. It's all in connection with the installation of proposed in-ground swimming pool with the spa. So that piece on the end, the 8x6, is going to be like a hot tub kind of thing?
Correct, yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
And there is one recommendation on here that any installation of pavers, patios, or decking will require zoning board of appeals approval. Would you
Correct.
agree to that
Agreed.
as a condition? Okay. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So I will make a motion, well, yeah, I'll make a motion to approve application 24005 with a condition on the face of the CO. If any installation of pavers, patios, or decking will require zoning board of approval appeals, and also that the condition be that the size of the pool will be indicated, will be the one indicated on the survey.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Are you here for the next one, too?
No, it's, they're gonna take that one.
Okay. Approve as amended. Come on up.
Good evening. May I hand some supporting documents in?
Sure. This is application 24006, dated February 7, 2024, property located in East Farmingdale. Need your name and address for the record, please.
Yaqub Najimi at 39 Daffodil Drive.
Okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated February 7, 2024, environmental control memo dated February 14, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Elizabeth McQuilkin dated September 27, 2023, tax map acting as an area map, and
Mr. Chairman, we have 5 photos. And Mr. Chairman, for the record, the applicant just submitted
What would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes. I'm here this evening to ask for permission to install a 16 by 36 in-ground pool on our property, as well as an 8 by 6 spa. Upon submission to the building department, we were informed that we exceed the allowable building coverage. Reducing the size of the pool would not change this, as the allowable coverage is already exceeded with just the house. We have proposed the pool to meet all the required setbacks, but cannot do anything to make it comply with the building coverage.
Yep.
We have children and large family, and we're looking to create a space for everyone to gather outside during the summer months.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you the same questions. What, the size of the pool, is it 36 by 16? Or
Yes.
It's not 18 by 36?
No.
Okay. And would you also agree to any installation of pavers, patios, or decking will require zoning board of appeals approval?
Yes.
As a condition? Okay. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So I'll make a motion to approve 24006 with a condition on the face of the CO. Any installation of pavers, patios, or decking will require zoning board of appeals approval, and also that the size of the pool will be as indicated on the survey.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck. What's this guy's? Dean, what is this? Dario? Yeah. So we're going to hear both applications together, right?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. It's application 23-233 and 234 of Diario Company Inc., property located in Farmingdale. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. For the applicant, Brian Kennedy, partner with Forcelli Deegan Tirana. And I'd ask that both of these be called into the record, heard together, entertained by the board as such. All right.
Understood. Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated February 27, 24 on both the 233 and 234 applications. We have environmental control memos on both applications dated February 14, 2024. If approved, it would need a negative declaration, and that is on both applications. We have Suffolk County Planning on application 234, a decision of local determination, take no position for or against. We have a survey on application 233 by Thomas Brennan? I can't even read my thing here. Dated December 14, 2023. We have also a survey dated on 234, dated 8/31/2003 by the same architect. And we have an overall by Michael Rant, dated 11/15/23. Tax map acting as an area map, and... Okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
The applicant is before this board seeking parking variances for both of the subject properties. At 595 Smith Street, the applicant proposes to provide 13 stalls where 56 are required. And at 160 Finn Court, the applicant proposes to provide 193 stalls where 408 are required. Now, at first glance, that may appear to be significant parking relaxation. However, for those of you who are familiar with the Didario complex, you understand that the site has more than adequate parking to meet the required demands. Now, Didario is one of the leading manufacturers of musical accessories worldwide. They have a long-standing relationship with the town of Babylon and provide hundreds of quality jobs to the community. They're eager to continue that relationship. Now, Didario owns both of these properties, and the buildings located at 525, 535, and 595 Smith Street all benefit from existing cross-access parking agreements. The goal of these applications tonight is to improve the connectivity between the three buildings located on Smith Street and this building newly acquired by Didario located on 160 Finn Court. Now, the applicant is proposing to remove the existing parking located at the southeast corner of 160 Finn Court and construct a small ramp to connect the parking lot between the Smith Street properties and 160 Finn Court. Now, the proposed plan calls for a loading dock at the southeast corner of the building located at 160 Finn Court. Additionally, there will be repaving and restriping of that entire parking lot. Shortly, Doug Castellano of North Coast Engineering will take you through that site plan, but I want to speak briefly about the proposed parking relief. Now, the pending applications cannot be evaluated individually. They must be viewed as part of the greater Daddario campus. As mentioned earlier, in addition to on-site parking, the applicant will provide at 160 Finn Court and the 3 Smith Street properties. They have nearly 200 other available parking stalls very close to this property. Daddario maintains the following off-site parking in the area: 106 stalls located at 2125 Wellwood Avenue, that is located 0.2 miles from 595 Smith Street. They have 54 stalls at 99 Marcus Drive, which is just 1,000 feet from 160 Finn Court. They also have 32 stalls leased at 564 Smith Street and 140 Finn Court. These buildings are adjacent to the property subject to this application. Now, all off-site parking is within walking distance of properties owned by Daddario. In total, the applicant controls 398 parking stalls in the immediate vicinity, while their parking requirement is 464 stalls. When viewing the requested relief in the proper context, the requested relief is far more reasonable. Now, granting the requested relief will eliminate substantial vehicle traffic that is traveling along Finn Court, Wellwood Avenue, and Smith Street by allowing the connectivity between the 2 parking stalls. Now, at this point, I'm going to ask John Burke, who is General Counsel to Daddario, to speak briefly about the site operations and the employment at the subject properties. Sure.
We have 13 parking spaces for 160 Finn Court.
Correct.
193 for Smith Street.
That's correct. Oh, did I say it opposite? I apologize. Sorry. Sorry.
Your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. John Burke, General Counsel for Daddario and Company and its affiliate companies, including Expend Realty, 595 Smith Street.
Okay. What would you like to tell us about this?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, members of the board. Good evening. Since you know my name, I'll dispense with that and get into telling you a little bit about your company to the extent that the board doesn't have much knowledge about us. Daddario is the world's largest designer, manufacturer, and distributor of musical instrument accessories. Approximately 92% of all of our products are made here in the United States. While we're best known for our strings, and we make 800,000 strings a day at our 595 Smith Street facility, we also make drumsticks, drumheads, reeds and mouthpieces for clarinets and saxophones, and other musical instrument accessories. 30 years ago, Daddario moved its then string factory from Route 109 to our current 595 Smith Street facility. Today, we employ 1,100 people worldwide, 750 in our Farmingdale campus, and I would like to tell the board that a majority of the 750 employees live in the town of Babylon, most of them from Copeg. So our campus includes the buildings on Smith Street, Finn Court, and our Marcus Boulevard or Drive distribution center, as Brian told you. And Doug's going to speak with specifics regarding the on-site work for the properties, but I just wanted to briefly share with you a little bit about the work that we're doing. So in 2004, the D'Addario family bought Rico Reeds, which is a California-based manufacturer of reeds and mouthpieces for saxophones and clarinets. We've decided to move that facility to New York. That's the creation of 60 new jobs here in the town of Babylon. We've put in an application to the town of Babylon IDA regarding this move, and along with that and the creation of the 60 jobs, we're also purchasing 540 Smith Street. We've leased that building since 1997. It houses our drumhead manufacturing operation, but we're now buying it. So we'll own 6 properties in the immediate area of Smith Street, including the Finn Court property. Lastly, we're going to be doing a $4 million expansion of our 590 Smith Street operation. So altogether, the IDA has offered us real estate tax abatements, sales tax exemptions, and in exchange for that, we're committing to stay here in the town of Babylon for another 15 years and keeping our jobs where they are right now for the betterment of the community. Now, Brian explained to you about the parking situation. There are 398 spots. The town requires 464. And 160 Finn Court currently has 24 people there as we begin to relocate our California facility to New York. 595 Smith Street operates 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, and 3 shifts, obviously. 564 people are broken down. In the first shift, there's 356. That includes 86 hybrid employees who are only there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. The other days, they're not there, so that diminishes the need for parking in their absence. Additionally, 4 to 12 of the employees who work during the first shift and our office staff, like myself, take the train to the Farmingdale train station. And like I said, it's 4 to 12, so they don't take up any spots. And finally, I would say, and I can't make an accurate representation, but I can tell you that we do have factory staff members who communicate together and carpool. So for every factory employee, it doesn't necessarily translate to the need for one particular parking spot. So I hope you'll agree that based upon the facts that I briefly shared, that the request for relief that we're making of you tonight is reasonable. And before I hand over the reins to Mr. Castellano about the particulars of the work to be done, can I answer any other questions you may have?
So this is strictly your manufacturing here?
Yes.
Now you have trucks bringing in supplies and?
Well, that's a great question. So we bring in raw materials, some of the wire that's used to make our guitar strings. That's at our 525 Smith Street facility. So we take the rod and we draw it, and then we send that final product over to 595 Smith Street, and and that's turned into our strings. We take in product at 540 Smith Street for our drum heads, and we also take in some product at 590 Smith Street where we make guitar picks and cables and a few other products, right, John? So.
And then they would be shipped out from there?
Well, what we do then is we put them at our distribution facility at 99 Marcus, and then when our customers, domestic and international, request it, we then ship it out or by truck, or we bring them to a port, or they're flown overseas.
So there's no retail sale or anything?
There's no retail whatsoever.
That would be my question.
Okay.
My other question. You mentioned about another spot where you have parking on Wellwood Avenue.
We do. We, years ago, we bought, there was a florist at 2125 Wellwood. We eliminated that building, we leveled it, and we built a parking lot where we have, how many parking spots, John?
Sorry, I wasn't, would have posed the question too,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's fine.
106 parking spots there.
So how would those, I'm assuming those are for employees also?
Yes, they are.
So is that, can they walk to?
Absolutely. As Mr. Kennedy mentioned, that's walkable as well.
Okay, that's walkable, okay.
Well, and I'd like to thank you for your attention. I also would be remiss if I didn't thank the planning and other departments that have put a lot of work into this. And hopefully tonight, you'll grant our request for relief, and I'll let Doug take over now so you can hear the rest. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Doug Castellano from North Coast Civil, 39 West Main Street, Oyster Bay, New York.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
What would you like to tell us?
So we were the civil engineers for the project. We kind of came up with the layout and design for what we're proposing. Really what we're trying to do is propose a cross-access ramp that connects the 160 Finn Court site to tax lot 12, which is below it. That's the 525, 535, and 595 property to the south. This ramp is really just a poured concrete ramp. It's got retaining walls on either side. I don't know if you guys have been to the property, but there's actually a little bit of a grade change. That's the reason for the retaining walls. It's not a steep ramp by any means, but it just it gives a safe distance for trucks to pull in or employees to go back and forth between the properties. In addition to that, I also want to just mention that the ramp is really just for D'Addario purposes only. It doesn't create, a shortcut for people to go through. It's solely for D'Addario operations. It, isn't meant to be for the public by any means. So there's really no other major site changes to tax lot 12. That's the one to the south. There is a removal of 3 parking stalls because you see the ramp kind of extends southward into that property. That's one of the reasons why we're here tonight, is because we're removing some more parking from that property. But we think it really works with the operations, and we tried to cram as many spaces as we could into the site to the north. That's 160 Finn. So we're rearranging that site and proposing even striping that meets planning's requirements. Going along with that, when we did submit to planning, obviously they brought up, their laundry list of things they'd like to see for, commercial sites. That goes with site lighting, curbing, walkways, landscaping, things of that nature. We're really just improving and beautifying that site. There's some, existing cracked curbs and, the aprons along the street. Those are all going to be repaired. We're adding to some of the existing landscaping that's along Finn Court. So it's, again, just cleaning that property up and making it more presentable for, D'Addario and also bringing it up to Town of Babylon standards. That's really it for the site engineering. There's a couple other minor things going on Finn Court, but it's just concrete pads to work with their new facility and a loading bay entrance. So with that, I'll just conclude the engineering. If there's anything specific I can answer.
We're good, thank you.
No problem. Take care. Have a good night.
One quick question. So
Sure.
this site, no.
Sure, go ahead.
I appreciate it. This site's been operating already. Have you had any problems with parking or anything like that of that nature as it is now?
Not at all. And I will note that planning's memo on both projects made reference to the fact that there were no open complaints.
Right, okay. He wants to know who's going to complain when you own the whole block. Okay, any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. I'll make a motion. We need that. I want to adopt a negative declaration on application 23, 233, and 234.
Second.
All in favor? And I want to approve applications 23, 233, and 23, 234. Guys are killing me. Where? Oh, okay. Okay, a cross-access agreement with the other lots must be submitted to the planning department prior to issuance of a building permit. This agreement will be reviewed and approved by the town attorney's office for legal sufficiency, and no outdoor speakers or paging systems. You don't have that, do you?
We do not, and we accept those conditions.
Okay. Second. Oh, God. All in favor? Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
luck.
Thanks, guys.
That ends the live stream portion